gather to celebrate the work and freedom of Julian Assange. We shouldn't be having to meet here to protest against his incarceration. We shouldn't be having to meet here today to think about the way he, Stella and the family have been robbed of their family life. And why has Julian Assange been robbed of his freedom? Why has Stella been robbed of her husband? Why have their children been robbed of their father? The reason that they've been robbed unjustly of all of these things is because Julian Assange spoke the truth to power. Julian Assange exposed war crimes. Julian Assange did his job as a journalist. Julian Assange did his job of holding the powerful to account. In our parliaments, we hear very often the grand themes bandied about of freedom of the press, the rule of law, the importance of journalism, democracy, freedom of speech. Anybody who believes in these things should know that Julian Assange should be free.
He's not here today, but we are. Are you sure? I know, absolutely sure.
Hello, my name is Amy Batlin. I'm with the Committee to Defend Julian Assange, a grassroots organisation. We have been on the side of Julian Assange, organising solidarity actions outside the courts and holding vigils in Europe, in London area. Today, Julian Assange defence team is putting forward a request for an appeal against all those points that Judge Vanessa Barreza accepted on the US side in 2021. Vanessa Barreza accepted that it was an extraditable offence to possess and publish classified information. So basically it's all the political arguments that Barreza accepted, and now the legal team is seeking to overturn at the High Court today and tomorrow. In the worst scenario, the application will be rejected, which will bring to the end, conclude any recourse in law that Julian Assange has in this country. And the next step will be an appeal to the European Court of Human Rights to intervene, to stop the extradition on the basis of human rights. They're trying to limit the scope of what is legitimate journalism. So they are separating journalism and publishing in legitimate and illegitimate. So it goes to the very essence of free speech, democracy, and the right of people to know the truth about what governments are doing in our name. So if Julian Assange is extradited to the US, this will create a precedent for any journalist around the world who publishes any information, embarrassing or otherwise, to the United States government or any government, to be extradited to the country where they've revealed war crimes, where they revealed corruption, and to find themselves in prison and at peril. We need to protect journalism, we need to protect publishing, and this is why I'm here today.
So I'm Anna, I live in London, I'm from Cumbria, and I'm here because I don't want Julian Assange to be extradited. It's against all of us. He is in prison, in the highest security prison in the UK, Belmarsh, for years for exposing the war crimes of the US, which is not a crime. And his mental health is deteriorating, his health is deteriorating, his family are out here, he can't be here, and all he did was speak the truth. And this matters to all of us here. It's a public issue and everyone's quiet about it, especially the media. They don't want people to know about it, about what the US did in Iraq and so many other things. And often I think we get caught up in like, oh, the West is so civilized, and it is. Places like Russia that have such heavy censorship, especially with what's happened recently. But no, it's us, it's the US, it's the UK, and truth needs to be told, and no one should be in prison for telling the truth. He's done so much for this world. It's ridiculous. If he gets extradited, that's against all of us. It's against freedom of expression and the press. I just think it's so scary because it's going to scare even more people than already are scared. It sends a message. Don't speak out, don't say the truth, because we won't protect you, we will lock you up for years. It makes me angry. I'm so angry to grow up in this world, and obviously I'm so privileged in the position that I'm in growing up here, but I'm so angry that we are squashed. Even the Arts Council England recently brought out new censorship rules, whereas when Russia invaded Ukraine, they were praising cultural institutions for speaking out against it correctly, but now everything that's happening in Palestine, they're like, no, this is too much, you need to, that's too much, it's too political, it's too controversial. And it's all related to what's happening here. And I don't know, I don't get how people don't do anything, how people don't come out here and protest. Like, it doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. And every single person makes a difference. So that's why I'm here.
Okay, I'm Izzy. I studied politics and geography. I've been involved in the Assange case, or a bit more. I've followed it for 4 years now. I came here because the reporting in the press has been quite bad in Europe, in European newspapers 4 years ago. So I did my own research, and then I decided to come to London because Julian Assange is imprisoned here. Got involved with a grassroots movement here because they had all the information, and today is his appeal at the High Court. So he went in, it was around 9:30, which was surprising that you could still get in at that time, because usually within the last years you had to queue from 5 to 7 a.m. to have a chance to get in. Mostly in the last years it was restricted to 8 people for members of the public. Today it was more open. They had literally people with signs saying report here for the Assange case. You were guided, you got a ticket, just stated if you were member of the public or of the press. Somehow the members of the public got the nicer space with the tables, whereas the press was located upstairs, where you could hear the audio even worse. At some point we didn't have audio at all. Then the lawyers were almost inaudible. You had someone typing all the time on a laptop or something, which impaired with being able to listen to what was going on in court. Then for people who dialed into live stream, they said the picture for them was gone at one point completely, so they had to interrupt the proceedings and reset it. It got better after an hour or so. They said they want to work on it after the court break. Yeah, but it was quite difficult to follow it, but that has been an issue over the last years always, so that is nothing new to us. So some people say it's deliberate, so people can't really keep up with the proceedings. So I think some journalists who are used to these kind of conditions, they were able to take notes shorthand, but even at some point even there was some uproar in between, from the press upstairs, from the member of the public, because they were what is the point of us being in here? We literally can't follow what's happening. I think there were a lot of statements made that were raised earlier in court. There was also one point introduced kind of new, was referencing some judge's statement from before. It was very annoying. You can't properly follow it. It's difficult. I remember like in 2020 when you had like the second part of his extradition hearing at Old Bailey, you had a big press turnout on the first day. The coming days, I mean, that case was going on for a month at Old Bailey. A lot of press was only there on the first day, and maybe on the last one, like 1/3 of them was there to get like the closing statements and like some statement of Julian Assange's wife. But yeah, usually they don't really care about it. It's not that much in like UK media. But like I think today was a good turnout, also like protest about why it's been a large crowd. So like, and when you came out of court and the doors opened of the Royal Courts of Justice, like you could just hear like people screaming like "Free Julian Assange," and it was like really like, it hit you like a wall. It was very uplifting and motivating. So it's good that they're all here. It's good to see.
Anything else you'd like to add?
Free Julian Assange and protect journalists all around the world, also in Gaza.